Welcome back to IBSpectrum. Today we're learning all about article writing. In this video we will talk about what an article is as well as understand the format of an article. Now what is an article? An article is a form of writing to give more depth to topical events, people or issues. So to give context to everyday issues that take place. Now before we move on to the format of an article, we must understand the two types of articles, magazine and newspaper articles. So what are the differences between the two and how do we identify which one is what? Feel free to pause this video and try to come up with any differences that you can think of. Okay, moving on. The first difference is formal versus informal. Newspaper articles are more formal as they comment about national and international issues, so the tone for newspaper articles are generally formal. While magazine articles, on the other hand, are generally more informal or casual as it makes use of normal everyday language. Secondly, another major difference is the purpose of both magazine and newspaper articles. A newspaper article's main purpose is to inform the readers about everyday news, while for magazines, the purpose could vary depending on the content, which we will talk about further in the video. Lastly, a newspaper article contains quotes, facts and references and no other contradicting opinions, while magazine articles can have multiple contradicting viewpoints or opinions. Make sure to understand these three basic differences as it would help analyze questions, making it a lot easier to answer. For the format of an article, there are a few basic points to keep in mind. We start off with the title of an article, a line or two which gives an insight on what the article is all about. It should grab the audience's attention and should make them curious about what the article is all about. Make sure not to drag the title too long as it might bore the audience. Okay, we then move on to the name followed by the credits. As seen on the screen, we give our name followed by what we do. In this example, it's Jane followed by what she does, an editor. The next is the lead/kicker. So what is a lead? A lead is a two-liner that sums up what you're going to talk about. Give a brief description of the content without giving away too much. Make sure it's written in italics as that is a mandatory requirement. Now it's time we start the paragraphs. An article typically consists of 3 to 4 body paragraphs, so it's best to do the same. Starting off with paragraph 1. The introductory paragraph. In this particular paragraph, we introduce the main purpose of the text. Make sure to include the 5 W's and H, which essentially stands for where, who, why, what, and how. Also, try to answer these in your introductory paragraph. The introductory paragraph also includes a brief description of the individual event or scenario. So to sum it up, you must answer the 5 W's and H and also give a very brief description of the main topic. Paragraph 2, however, dives deeper into the purpose of the text. Here you can further explain the topic with the help of examples, quotes, or any other additional information that you can find. If necessary, you could also dwell upon the past history or situation of the topic. We basically drag the paragraph 2 by explaining it in a deeper form. Now for paragraph 3, you could choose between two options. For option number 1, you could go against paragraph 2 by providing contradicting viewpoints or quotes, which essentially is a magazine article. As for option number 2, you can explain paragraph 2 to a greater extent by providing quotes and viewpoints, which is essentially are newspaper articles. This is dependent on the type of question you get. 2 contradicting quotes, however, must be provided in your article. It is essential to give evidence in this particular paragraph as it gives a sense of credibility to the audience. Whichever option you choose, depending on the question, make sure to give a detailed account and back it up with evidence. For our 4th paragraph, we talk about future predictions and outcomes. For this paragraph, you can stress more upon what is more likely to happen in the future. For example, if you're writing an article about virtual learning, you could either go against it, which is a magazine article. You could talk about the harmful effects of virtual learning, or you could write a newspaper article where you just strictly focus on factual information rather than opinions. Okay, we have finally reached our last paragraph. This is your concluding comment, so you must go strong. You could reflect or reevaluate the points that you mentioned earlier. You could reevaluate a comment or even a reference for that matter, or you could even refer back to any of the quotes that were given previously. Conclude on a very strong note as this is your ending statement. Wrap the whole article up. Okay, you have now reached the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content from IBSpectrum. See you in next week's video.